Opening up the UFC Mexico fight card, we got Austin Hubbard taking on somewhat short notice MarQuel Mederos. Austin Hubbard 16-8 in his career, 3-2 in his last 5. He's coming off that decision loss to Alexander Hernandez. He's taking on MarQuel Mederos. 9-1 in his career, 5-0 in his last 5. He's coming off that win in his UFC debut. Austin Hubbard, as we all know, a gritty guy. He's decent everywhere. He's got a ton of heart, I don't want to say power. I have it written here that says ton of power in his hands. It's not a ton of power, but he's got a ton of heart. He will sling some leather. Mostly a striker, pretty well-rounded overall. He can be taken down, but he's got a good enough get-up game that you're not just going to hold him there and ride him out. He's not great at anything. He's not wildly dangerous, but he's good at everything. He's tough as shit. He's coming off that loss to Alexander Hernandez where he marched forward. He threw a ton. He wasn't fast or clean. He's taking on MarQuel Mederos. Very good striker. He strings together combinations pretty well. He throws in volume. He's pretty comfortable in those striking exchanges. He hits a nice flow state. He is primarily a striker, but he can grapple as well. He's got some slick takedowns, slick takedown defense, and slick submissions. He's coming off that straightforward win in his UFC debut where the striking and takedown defense were clean, but the takedown offense clearly needs a little bit of work. MarQuel's good. And if you only saw his Contender Series win, you'd think he was great. The reality is, though, his last win was just okay, and it does give me a little bit of caution here. He should be good enough to touch up Austin Hubbard, maybe win a nice straightforward decision. But the reality is he's not a lock. And if we're looking at odds like 2-1 here, I'm not loving MarQuel at these odds. Austin's going to march forward. Austin's going to stay busy. And if MarQuel's not moving side to side, if MarQuel's not really working that footwork and keeping his hands busy, Austin's just going to stay in his face, stay busy, grind him down, work him to the ground, work him to the cage, stay in his face. And Austin can grind out a win here. I'm going to pick MarQuel. MarQuel is going to be the pick, but I don't love the 2-1 odds here. So I made a very clear pick, and I don't know if you heard before, Jacob, but I am quite literally third party, objectively one of the best at picking fights on the planet. So I picked MarQuel. Yeah. Not going to bet on him because the odds are wide. Pretty logical breakdown. What do you think, Jacob?
Logical. Austin's probably going to win, but I'm going to pick MarQuel. Typical fucking
I didn't say that. I said MarQuel's going to win, but
Austin's probably going to do this, and this, but he might not. So let me pick MarQuel in this matchup. I'm going MarQuel because he's the better fighter. It's going to come down to whoever does not get tired. We have to remember, guys, this card is at elevation, and this is fucking serious elevation. I mean, this is what, let me see. Salt Lake City elevation is about 4,000 feet, and we've seen cards there kind of turn to disasters. Mexico City elevation is fucking almost 8,000 feet. So it's almost double Salt Lake City. We got to keep that in mind as we're breaking down cards, as we're betting cards, stuff like that. MarQuel used to train at elevation. Both these guys actually used to train, I think, in Colorado elevation. MarQuel was at Factory X. I think he left. He's at MMA Labs now. Austin left, I think, the Colorado area to train with Bilal and them in the Chicago area. I think it comes down to whoever does not get tired. And Austin is a dog, and he typically is moving forward, but I got to go with a better fighter, all things being equal. I don't think Austin's going to get the takedowns. He doesn't set him up really, really well. And MarQuel being a former Factory X guy, those guys are usually pretty well prepared for takedowns. He's kind of a grappler himself. So this is probably an over 2.5 play. I think these guys probably get a little bit sloppy as the fight goes on, especially as we get past the halfway point in the second round. MarQuel does get hit. Austin does throw a nice left hook. I mean, he is pretty heavy with that left hook, even moving backwards. So if MarQuel is getting a little bit reckless moving forward, Austin will kind of sit on that nice left hook moving backwards or moving forward. So he's got to be careful of that. But MarQuel showed in his last fight, he can kind of take shots, work through kind of some weirdness, and kind of steal some fights as well. So I'm going MarQuel. He's a better fighter, and he should beat a guy like Austin. But I like Austin. He's a dog.
So Jacob and I have the exact same fucking pick. Jacob and I both said Austin is really tough, and yet half the comments are, thanks, Jacob, for the straightforward breakdown. What a fucking absolute joke. Jacob and I are on the same side of this one, and lucky for him because I pick at a higher accuracy. MarQuel Mederos is the pick, but he is $8,700 in DraftKings Fantasy. I do think that's a full fade because the reality is $8,700 is a lot of points to score when you're not shooting offensive takedowns and when you're not knocking somebody down or finishing them. $7,500 for Austin. If you're on that side, that could score some points, but $8,700 for MarQuel, going to be a full fade for DraftKings Fantasy. If you do want to unlock every single pick, bet, tool, and everything else that we offer, it's $10. $10. Think about your day today and how much money you spent on some dumb shit. For $10.
I spent $10 on fortune cookies. I only got
2 fortunes.
66% fortunes.
Yeah, what a joke.
And Angelo picks higher than 66%.
That is true. Yeah, honestly, I'm going to be honest with you, straight up. I was shocked. So I don't love. There's that dude, the UFC prediction.
I pick
strategy.
underdogs this year at 70%. I pick underdogs better than you pick cards.
That's 100% a true statement. Literally. I mean, it's one underdog, and I have to pick an entire card. If I could just cherry pick a few, I would have still gotten fucking smoked. But here's the reality, just truthful tequila-filled Ange. I don't like that UFC Prediction Tracker YouTube channel. I don't like it. I don't love that it's just reducing everything down to picks. Everything that Jacob does
I like
is
that
beyond
slide
the pick.
when we picked Cowie.
Oh, yeah. No. That is why I started to be like, all right, let me fucking. Because you and I were 2 of like 6 people in the entire fucking webcam universe that said Cowie were going to win. And you and I were both confident enough to bet on him. And you guys know me, I don't fucking bet on shit. So the fact that we both bet on him tells you everything you need to know. And I don't love that whole like reduce everything they do down to picks. Jacob, the amount of time and effort he puts into that music video and everything else he does is insane. The amount of time and effort I put into putting these fucking graphics on the screen and a video out every Sunday, no matter what, is insane. And to reduce it down to just a list of picks is fucking bullshit to me. So I don't love that. But what is happening, I don't love it. But what's happening is I'm at the top of that fucking list every week. I'm somehow picking unbelievable. I did it last year. I'm doing it again this year. And now it's like, I kind of have to acknowledge this if I'm going to brag about how good I'm picking. So like I'm in this weird middle, you know, and good for that guy. Cause I can't imagine the amount of work he has to do to fucking keep track of everybody's bullshit. Anyway, WeWantPicks.com, click become a member at the top. Couple of super chats. This dude said enchiladas. Listen, I say enchiladas. That's how I pronounce it. If you spell it phonetically, it'd be A-N chiladas. I now recognize it's wrong. I didn't know that was wrong. I said it that way my entire life. And it wasn't until 6 months ago that all the neighborhood moms were like, what the fuck did you just say? I was like, enchiladas. It's like, that's not how you say that. Now I know it's enchiladas. You knew that?
And you said chipotle. Chipotle. What'd you say?
I say chipotle. There's no L in my world. But what's funny is there's a video of Dave Portnoy on he's got the podcast with the 2 younger ones, and they're both like, what the fuck did you just call it? Like they're doing what everybody did to me. Like, no, it's Chipotle. $10 super chat from Humble Reaper. Yuck. This fucking
Hey,
guy.
Nasser, suck my fucking cock.
We'll get there. Humble Reaper says, yuck, hate these dudes, mostly Ange, but I hit a plus 4,400 parlay. Caillou by decision and Tainara by sub because of these guys. Sign up for premium. Watch these guys.
That sounds like a me thing.
I picked Caillou. Yeah, you got the Tainara.
Yeah, let's talk about the Molly fight.
I know Ange is sweaty, but it's worth it. I never know how to feel about that fucking guy. Also, somebody was like, Ange, do your kids watch these videos? You curse a lot. No, they're 6 and 8 and they're little girls. Why would they be watching these videos? Enema says, Angelo, over under 6.5 inches. Man, that's a perfectly set line, I'll tell you that. Curbside pickup, $4.99. Angelo looks like a young Richard Kind. Please hold while I Google Richard Kind. Was he good looking young? He's not good looking now. Was he good looking young? God, I hope that was like a Ben Affleck. Zaid Sharif, not a super chat. He said, too many people saying it's a close fight and siding with MarQuel. Hey, listen, fuckstick. Not every fight's a blowout. Some of these fights are close. Simple.
Could be a blowout.
And Michael MacArthur. This is Michael from that UFC 303 vlog. VIP Michael. 2-parter. Who does point? Hey, dude, you can't ask. I'm going to save this for later. You can't ask these fucking questions in the middle of the stream. I'm going to save it. I'll get back to it, Michael. I promise.
Thank you for the donation.
We 100% appreciate it. I've saved it here. I'm not getting rid of it. We'll get to it. I promise you.